What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Play, the best PlayStation podcast you're going to listen to today and maybe for the rest of your life. My name is Zach, and I got my great co-host here, CBK. How you doing, man?
Dude, living the dream. Had a great couple weeks of Summer Game Fest, so I'm so stoked to discuss it with you.
Yeah, dude. You know, it feels like the days of E3. Like, I don't know how much you used to get into that, but I know for
Yeah.
me, I used to sit there and like crave E3 like stuff through like XPlay or G4 TV and like even like YouTube at the time and just like,
Yeah.
what are we getting today? And this last week or last 2 weeks, I guess, really felt like the fun stuff of video games. It made me excited to be a video game fan again. And I think that's like the greatest thing is like even talking to some friends who have been pretty pessimistic about the gaming industry, they've been like more excited. And I think the thing that's exciting is that like I'm wondering how am I going to play all these games, especially
Yeah,
the
dude.
ones in September and October. It's like so stacked during that time.
Yeah.
I actually low-key pray GTA gets pushed back at this point, just because it feels there's too much to talk about, you know?
Yeah. This is going to be an insane rest of the year. Starting probably next month, I think things are going to kick
Yeah.
off. And then it's
Yeah,
just going to
man.
be every month, it's just going to be some sort of major release. So
Yeah.
I'm not
And it
complaining,
feels
but I
like
definitely don't have the time to play them all, which has been frustrating. But
yeah, dude, it's like where were these games when we didn't have a kid? You
where
know
were
what
they
I mean?
last year? Yeah, like for real.
That too. Like I literally thought about this. I was like, dude, the
Yeah.
year my son was born, like leading up to those 9 months, I'm like, I had nothing to play. I
Yeah.
had nothing to play. And now
Yeah.
it's like all these big games. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I love it. I can't wait for my son to be older so we can play some of these games together, you
Absolutely.
know? But every time I go back to Lego Batman, I just have to say like I love like just thinking like, man, one day I get to play like a Lego game with my son. And I'm sure you may
Dude.
feel the same way. Like you want
All
that
the
Lego
time, man.
Spider-Man game, right? Like that's
I want
what you
Lego
want, right?
Spider-Man. If you follow me on Instagram, I've been doing this like little series where I try to collect like every Spider-Man game that's
Yeah.
ever been made, and it's made me super nostalgic about those games. But I always like come back to like my favorite Spider-Man game is obviously Spider-Man PS4, but like I don't want to introduce that first to my son. I kind of want him to have the same journey I had, so he appreciates what we have now in terms of just like modern day gaming graphics and like instant load times and whatnot. So like I constantly have that like discussion with myself and sometimes my wife about like how I want to introduce these things to my son, and I'm just always like I really want him to have that journey I had where it's just like even just like the 2D platformer like Spider-Man games, just to like get that sense of it as he like gets older, he can like transition to those other ones. But yeah, that's just my little take on like
No, I
introducing
fully
those
get
games
it.
to my son, man.
With that, I have two questions now for you. But
Okay.
to like kind of like add into that before I ask the questions is like I totally get that. Like my son, like you know how like Toy Story is so cherished to me.
Yeah.
So like I like told anyone who watched my son, he is not allowed to watch Toy Story until I show it to him.
Yeah.
Once he's watched it with me, I don't care how old he is, full free on, put it on whenever. I
Yeah.
don't care. Like, and that's kind of how it was. And I remember one time I noticed Toy Story 4 had accidentally come on when he was being babysat. But like, obviously they didn't watch it, so I just like threw it in the back. I'm like, he still hasn't watched
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3. And we ended up watching those, and that was fun and everything. But
Yeah.
like, I totally get like wanting to go through there because like my whole thing is to have every console that can play any game. So like I have my PS2 that can play PS1 games, I have my
Yeah.
PS3, so on and so forth. And some of those games is like maybe showing them those older things, you know.
Yeah.
But my two questions for you: what was the first Spider-Man game you remember playing?
Oh geez. I probably played something on the Sega Genesis because that was like one of the first systems I actually remember playing as a kid. But I can't like vividly remember a specific game. But the one, I guess like the one I can clearly remember was the movie tie-in game to the first Spider-Man games, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. And dude, I don't even care. I love that game so much, and
The
I played it
tutorial,
on.
dude.
Yeah, I played it on the original Xbox. So
love
as
that.
most of you guys know, I was an Xbox kid. And I don't know why, but I have this like vivid memory of me like chasing Green Goblin around and having the hardest time like chasing him down. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, that was definitely one, and I actually picked it up. Well, maybe it's one of the ones that I was able to find. I found it on PS2, but
I love it.
yeah, PS2. So I cannot wait to play that again. I'm actually trying to go back and get a PS2 and a PS3. I haven't made those purchases just yet because, if you guys are new to the podcast, I'm more of like a new school PlayStation gamer now. So I can't wait to go back and play those, dude.
I love that. Well, if you're trying to save money, I don't even know how much it's. If you find the OG version of the PS3, it goes back to PS2 and PS1. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you find the big bricked version,
Yeah.
It actually might be more expensive than just buying them separately. I've never actually looked into this,
Yeah.
but that was the first PS3 we ever had because I wanted to play the backwards compatibility. And I remember telling my dad, like, if you're gonna buy the PS3 and get rid of the PS2, you have to.
Dude, that's actually really good info because I have spotted one of those at my local like retro game store. So that's like really like
and you can
awesome
check
info.
with them and make sure like, hey, this is the one that replays. But it's interesting. PS3 games, I think if I'm someone can correct me if I'm wrong. The PS3 console can always go back and play PS1 games no matter what. It's the PS2 that's a little weird. Don't know why. Whatever. That may be it. But is that going to be the first Spider-Man game you show your son then?
I think so.
Okay.
Because, my plan to introduce Spider-Man as a whole, and don't get me wrong, like, you guys, I'm not trying to force Spider-Man on my son. Like, my wife and I have this discussion all the time.
You have to force
I know.
to like this.
I'm going to try to push him in that direction, but I've always told my wife, I'm like, whatever he likes, I'm going to support. Like, I'm going to take an interest in what he likes, but
exactly.
I feel like he has a pretty good shot of being a Spider-Man fan just because it's literally around him all the time, so... but yeah, I think, starting with Spider-Man in general, I think I would probably... I want to get him into the animated series, the 90s animated series
one?
first.
Yeah,
because that's what kind of drew me into it, and then maybe transition to Sam Raimi's movies. If he gets a little bit older, they're a little scary, I think, for a young kid. Not for me, but... And then, that'll probably be the first game, and I can see us kind of like going along with the Raimi ones, the movie tie-in games.
I love
Spider-Man 2, by the way, I actually love that game. Like,
that game's great.
Physics-based web swinging, just like...
Yeah. Man, to throw in, do you remember Spider-Man Friend or Foe? Is that on your list?
It's on my list, and I have not spotted it anywhere. I actually have not played it. No, I've never played it.
So that was the only PSP game I used to play, like back in the day.
Okay.
I loved it. And I thought, like, little me thought it was a Spider-Man, like, Raimi thing, because they used all the same visuals from it, and it's not. They just did it for marketing and stuff. But, like, that game, not a great game.
Yeah.
Super fun, though. Super cool to play as the villains and things like that. And same thing goes for, like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Like, I love those games so much, like, even up to the third one. So,
if it's a Spider-Man game, it's good to me. Like, I know that they're not all perfect. Even the Amazing Spider-Man 2, like, I'll play that game, no problem. So
those two games are fun. Those two games are a little underrated.
I have both of them, and I'm looking forward to... I have thought about playing the Amazing Spider-Man 2 recently, because, like, I have this memory of... Correct me if I'm wrong here. There's this, like, part of the game where you can actually go into a comic book shop, and, like, Stan Lee is maybe working at the comic book shop.
I have the same memory, so if it's not in the game, there's a problem. Because then there's two of us that remember.
It's got to be in one of these games.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, I need a Spider-Verse game, dude, with that animation and things like that. Like, that next thing.
Yeah. That kind of seems like an instant moneymaker.
Dude, imagine you could do, like, a 4-player co-op game like that. Like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance with all the Spider-Man. So, oh, well, I know we're getting off topic. Let's show that intro right now, and then let's get into the icebreaker, man. I can't believe it worked on the first click. I genuinely can't believe. So for people who don't know, every time I usually click to go to it, it never works, and I have to edit it in. And that was the smoothest transition we've ever had.
Let's freaking go.
Let's do it.
We're on a roll now.
Yeah, icebreaker time, man. All right, so my icebreaker to you is, what are two things you think or want from PlayStation, like from the PlayStation 6, that you think could maybe excite the fan base again? Because I feel like and we'll talk about this because our main topic is discussing Xbox and Summer Game Fest and Nintendo, which this is a PlayStation podcast. But the reason we're diving into those is because it feels like there was more excitement over those than PlayStation.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of little tidbits to there. So for you, what do you think the fans are necessarily needing or like wanting? I'm curious to hear from you because I do have two ideas.
Yeah. So I'm at this weird stage in my life where like nostalgia is so important to me all of a sudden. I think it just may be me getting older, but I don't know, just like honestly, I can really dive deep into like this recent showcase season because it's really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. But I have come to the conclusion that most younger gamers are going to be playing your 2Ks, your Fortnites, your Call of Duties, and I do feel like the old school gamers have been a little bit neglected, um, and there can be a better focus on nostalgia. So if I were to come up with just like one thing I would love for PlayStation to focus on is really rediscovering like what got you to where you were, and almost I'm not saying remake things, but think back to like nostalgic things. Like I would love to see a focus on reverse compatibility, like being able to go back and have, for someone like me who's like in this stage where I feel like I need to buy a PS2 and a PS3 right now so I can play these games. I would love for them to really put a real focus on reverse compatible games for those older generations. I think that would honestly get real hardcore PlayStation fans excited. And I feel like those are the people you need to be after, not these new school gamers so much. Like those, you don't need to try to bring in a new crowd, I think you really need to focus, and I think this is what Xbox did really good on their showcase with, is really just focusing on their core fans. And I would love to just see and feel heard in the PlayStation 6 generation, which probably is going to be years from now, unfortunately.
Dude, I hope it's years from now. I
Yeah.
do not think they need to release a PlayStation 6
Yeah.
anytime soon. If anything, they need to release a handheld console. Personally for me, that's the thing they need to go. And that's actually what I was going to say, is that
Yeah.
I actually want to see some sort of handheld console, but I don't want to see it separate. Like, if you release one now, that's fine, make it separate, whatever. But if you
Yeah.
come out with the PlayStation 6, it has to be like the Switch. Because gaming is so expensive. The marketplace is so expensive. Unless you bundle them together, you can't expect people to buy both. Now,
Yeah.
my crazy ass would probably try and buy both. Could I
Yeah.
physically afford those? Probably not. But I would be saving
Find a
just as
way.
I did for the PlayStation. Yeah, I'd find a way. But I would definitely want both, because I want to have both of those experiences. But I think that's one thing, is definitely like allowing you, because sometimes I think about it like, man, should I just switch to like PC gaming overall, because like I could just buy a Steam Deck, maybe not for the price that it is now, but like I could buy a Steam Deck or the ROG Ally and play a bunch of these games
Yeah.
handheld. Same thing with my Switch, and like just strictly play PlayStation games on my PlayStation. That's
Yeah.
about it.
I'm kind
So
of
I
like
think that's
getting
the number
there.
one thing.
I
Yeah,
think I've
but
kind
my
of made that transition recently.
Oh, see? And that's the whole thing, because it's more convenient, especially as a dad. Like, I had the PlayStation, what was it called?
The
I
Portal.
had the handheld. I had the Portal for a bit. My
Yeah, me
Wi-Fi,
too.
not the best, so I ended up getting rid of it just
Yeah.
because GameStop had a trade-in, and I wanted a new controller instead, and I ended up buying Saros and that controller for it. But,
Nice.
like, for me, I just, like, I think it's a great idea. Let's just move that in that next direction. And I want it together. I don't
Yeah.
want it separate. Now,
I like that idea. Do you feel like the PlayStation 5 has been overly reliant on like accessorizing, and I feel like there's just a million controllers, million different console covers now. There's the Portal. Now they're coming out with this
Yeah.
like speaker system that you can get.
the monitor.
The monitor is just like, if they're trying to milk everyone who has a PS5 already for their money, it feels
And
like.
I don't blame them, because it's like an ecosystem thing. It's like Apple.
is,
I think they're
yeah,
kind of
that's
going in that
true.
direction of Apple, and I
Yeah.
get it. And Xbox kind of has a similar thing too, with like all their controllers, the customizable controllers you can do. But PlayStation definitely has an extreme to it. I don't mind it personally, but how about you also give me some games, which is like the big thing
That's
that
the
I want
thing.
to talk about. And I think, again, we're going to talk about it when we get into Xbox, and especially maybe even mention some of the layoffs that were just announced, and
Yeah.
also the shutting down the studio. But my problem with this is that Xbox focused in on what gamers are wanting.
Yeah.
They're wanting games, and PlayStation should be doing the same. And this is the one thing I love, the nostalgic thing you talked about with like backwards compatibility, all that stuff. Like I think that should just automatically there. I love that I can put almost any Xbox game into my Series X
Yeah.
and play whatever. I love
Yeah.
that. Not all of them, but I love that. I really want PlayStation to be able to do the same thing, but I also want them to give us a roadmap. I think it's something that no other studio are doing right now. don't get me wrong. I love when they tell us this game is coming out this year. And I'll tell you right now, I guarantee God of War Lofi would come out this year if GTA wasn't. I'll
I feel
actually
that.
tell you right now, if GTA gets pushed back, fully believe God of War takes its spot.
Yeah.
1000%. Like, I think they'll drop it and be like, God of War Lofi this year. Done. And I would be like, oh my God, that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I wish there was a roadmap, though. Tell us
Yeah.
what's coming down the pipeline. You don't have to show me anything. Say, new Naughty Dog game, summer 2029. That's all you have to show. You don't have to tell me it's intergalactic. You don't have to tell me it's Last of Us. Let the fans race, but at least we know that there is an exclusive coming out from them.
Yeah.
You know, showcase what you're having. New Insomniac game. It's like if you see this roadmap, it's kind of like what Kevin Feige does. You know, obviously they announce the titles.
Yeah.
But it gets fans excited, even though they don't maybe have any details to what it is. They just have a title. That's cool to me. And that's what I think PlayStation needs to do best. Even show updates, like, again, backwards compatibility. Maybe they say PS3 catalog, full PS3 single-player games catalog coming this day.
Yeah.
Like, play off the nostalgia, play off that, showcase what's coming, and get fans excited. Get them amped up that, hey, okay, yeah, like this year we only have like a Naughty Dog game and this, but next year we're getting 2 Insomniac games, we're getting a Santa Monica game. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, I love that idea. I think the whole MCU kind of vibe of that is just something that'd be really exciting for someone who like owns a PS5 and has a reason to keep their PS5.
Yeah.
Because you know, I look back to I got the Series S Xbox like a year after. Obviously, I sold it because like I had nothing to look forward to with that console. But like, if you are somebody like I'm locked into my PlayStation no matter what. But like, if you are one of those people who are kind of like on the fringe, maybe you have one, but you're like, there's nothing coming out that I'm like excited about.
Yeah.
You may look to try to move off that PlayStation, especially if you saw some stuff that you like from Xbox that's coming out, and maybe you own a gaming PC already. Like you can just play those. That's a really good idea. I think one thing that I did think about. So like we're probably going to talk a lot about Xbox here because I think we both kind of liked what Xbox did a week or two ago. I do still have like a massive amount of concerns about some of the stuff that they're doing and announced.
It's also face. Yeah. It's also like, okay, what's actually going to happen?
Exactly. I think that a PlayStation Con would be so cool to do those like sort of announcements. Even like, I mean, like, dude, Halo is getting a Halo Fest for the first time at the end of the year.
Cool.
Where it's like, it's based in Seattle where their Halo Studios is, and it's like a really cool place for like fans to come together, but also hear about announcements that are coming in the future, and that would kind of just like capture that atmosphere and that vibe that you're looking for. Like, dude, I don't even care what anybody says. I would much rather watch like somebody else's phone recording of a trailer and hearing an audience reaction than to sit here and watch some like pre-recorded presentation on my computer alone in my room. Like, I love
that Xbox did
it.
it. I love that Xbox had an audience. I love that they did.
Yeah, so, and I know like PlayStation tried to do something like that with, the theaters or whatever.
But dude, the one when they announced Spider-Man, God of War, hearing those announcements, like I love going back.
Yes, dude, seeing Kratos walk out of the shadows and the crowd erupt, like you just cannot beat those things.
You can't duplicate that.
No,
ever.
And like, I feel like a convention in general will just be a moneymaker and an excitement maker in my opinion.
I won't be shook if Jeff Keighley eventually tries to bring back an E3 with all the studios aligned.
Yeah.
I think that is just the direction Summer Game Fest is heading, and I hope it is. So, no, man, I love that. So, to throw in, do you have an icebreaker for me? If not, it's totally fine. We'll jump right into
this. Would be real quick, just kind of like a brain, or
let's do it.
Your gears turning. So, I'm going to give you a couple of PlayStation Studios. So, this is just kind of going into the PlayStation and Xbox thing. You can trade one of these PlayStation Studios to Xbox, and in return, you get 2 Xbox studios that convert over to PlayStation. Okay.
Do
So
I get their games though? Do I get their games or just the studio?
You get their games and whatever games they're going to be making in the future. You have whatever IPs they have. They are now PlayStations and vice versa. Okay. So Insomniac's one.
Okay.
Naughty Dog is one that you would have to give up, or an option. Santa Monica or Sucker Punch. Now you got to think.
Hate me. Okay, so like the selfish part of me, because I love PlayStation. I do love Xbox.
Yeah.
I was an Xbox kid for a lot of years. I was PlayStation. I was both. If I want to keep PlayStation on top, I'd get rid of Sucker Punch. I'd give them over to
Okay.
Xbox. I also feel like the Ghost of Tsushima games, the infamous games, kind of fit in that platform.
They do feel like Xbox 360 vibes for some reason.
Yeah, like I just don't think an Uncharted or a Last of Us or like would really fit on there. Spider-Man is just so associated with Sony that like I just feel weird moving him off there. And same thing with Ratchet and Clank, which then like, okay, if I were to, do you have the Xbox Studios now that I can take?
Take whatever you want, so they're yours.
Coalition's my number one. Coalition's
really?
My number one.
Okay.
Gears of War, dude. It's my favorite franchise of all time, probably, in terms of video games. So I would definitely.
That'd be huge.
Which, even though it would feel weird, like it was weird buying Gears of War on my PlayStation 5, and it still feels weird playing it. Like honestly, I've played more of the Steam version than I have my PlayStation version because I just think it's weird. Might be a shock, but I'm going to say Playground Games, the ones who are doing Fable and Forza.
Okay. I thought you were going to say
I've never
Bethesda.
I almost did, but I don't know. I'm fine with Bethesda living over there. I'm also fine with Halo Studios over there. I don't.
Yeah,
want
I would agree with that.
But I've always been wanting to try Forza, and seeing Forza now on PlayStation, I'm actually wanting to get 6.
Yeah.
And then same thing with they have Fable, and Fable looks incredible. I've always loved Fable. This new Fable game genuinely looks like, if everything lives up to the hype on that, I am very worried for my mental health on that game when it comes out. Like, I don't think I'm not sleeping now. I ain't gonna sleep then. If I'm being honest with you, like that game seems very exciting. So that was a great icebreaker, man.
Cool.
Let's jump into this. There's a lot to talk about, and so like there's kind of like 3 things that I'm structuring this around. One, the big news that Xbox exclusives that have not been announced to go multi-platform are never going multi-platform.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying right now. We also had a ton of announcements from Xbox, Summer Game Fest, Nintendo, and also it just feels like the excitement was more for Xbox than it was for any of these other studios. So before we get into any of that, I actually wanted to run through each showcase real quick, not go over what they announced individually. There's videos that already do that, but I wanted to ask you personally. I'm going to name one, and then I want you to tell me your 2 favorite things that you saw from the studio, or from that fest, and then I'll give mine, and then we'll go back and forth. So first off, Summer Game Fest. What were your 2 like, wow, that's awesome?
Oh, man. Here's the thing about Summer Game Fest. There wasn't a lot. Okay, y'all are going to hate me. There wasn't a lot that I really liked about Summer Game Fest.
Fair.
And here's the thing.
Fair.
I feel like almost every game that was shown at Summer Game Fest were just not my type of game. Horror games,
that is
tons of them, and like dark fantasy games, which again, not really big into dark fantasy, not really big into horror games. And it seemed like one after another, it was just like one of the other. And that was probably the one I had the least enjoyment watching. But there were, according to people, a lot of games that were very exciting, Resident Evil being one of them. I'm not a Resident Evil guy, so I can't get hyped about it. So there's really not a lot that I can like show my excitement about. But I'm happy for the people that are excited for those games.
Well, Keenan, since you suck and couldn't give me 2, I will give 4.
4?
I will give 4. I will give you 2. Even though you'll probably never play these games. Okay.
They're all going to go over my head.
You don't suck, man. I get it. To be honest with you, I kind of felt the same thing with Summer Game Fest, but there were 4 games that I was like, no way. So Resident Evil Code
Veronica. At the end of this, if you don't mind, I will say where I was the most disappointed, but go ahead.
Ooh, okay. So Resident Evil Code Veronica, or Veronica now, Resident Evil 5. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I think you texted me, right? Like, hey, they're showing Resident. Yeah, I'm sitting at Chili's eating freaking Chili's with my son and my wife, and I'm like sitting there trying to watch it at the same time, and I'm like, I'll just. So thank God you texted me that, because I was so hyped. But and I'm like trying to tell my wife, I'm like, dude, and she's like, can we just, eat? I'm like, No,
You don't
Code
understand?
Veronica. So I've actually never played Code Veronica. I've only watched gameplay of it. It's one of the few Resident Evil games I've never played because it's almost impossible to beat.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see this one. Super excited. It's coming apparently early next year, but I wonder if they're pushing it back just because it's already very heavy next year. And then of course Final Fantasy VII, the final part, got announced. Revelations. This is a must play. I will probably take a week off to play this game. I said that about the last Final Fantasy and then I didn't, but I actually kind of enjoyed the last time how I played it. I would just play like an hour a day and it was actually a really good experience. So I actually might end up doing the same thing. But I love this series. I love Final Fantasy VII. I love what they've been doing. But the other two things I want to mention is we finally got a new official stuff on the Wolf Among Us 2. I loved the first Wolf Among Us. I love the comics it's based off of. I'm so happy that this is actually happening. I will not be buying your remastered Telltale. I think that is absolutely stupid that you're remastering the original game, but whatever. And then last thing, this is just kind of nostalgic for me. Guild Wars 3 was announced. Now, I actually never got into Guild Wars 2, but I loved the original one a lot back in the day. I remember actually stupid of me. Well, actually, I guess not stupid. I originally bought someone's Guild Wars account, but since I didn't have money, I traded my 360 to them.
Oh,
Borderlands. Then he didn't like having a 360 and wanted his Guild Wars account back, and I had actually convinced my dad to buy me Guild Wars, so I just traded him back his account.
Okay.
Took my Xbox back, and then we were good. But yeah, Guild Wars 3, very, very excited for. Yeah. So, what were you most disappointed then for this?
Dude, okay, first off, this is gonna be a theme of mine throughout this whole podcast, because I like, as much as I enjoyed so much about like all these events, I'm worried. I'm just worried about like the gaming industry right now. But at the same time, like, I'm very excited if all these things come to fruition, but I'm also very worried. And one of the things that I'm worried about right now is Jedi Fallen Order 3 or Jedi 3, because like, that to me seemed like the most no-brainer announcement that would come at Summer Game Fest. And the main reason is because the gap in between the first one and the second game was 4 years in between release dates. Now, we're coming up on 4 years right now. I'm not saying that they need to take 4 years to make every game that they make, but I mean, like, listen, you probably didn't know that you were going to make a Jedi sequel, and you still pumped that out in 4 years. You know, obviously you did because the first one was a massive success. So my opinion is that they knew that they were going to be making a Jedi 3. Also, there were some crazy layoffs last year to EA and possibly the team that was also working on Jedi, so Respawn. So I am a little bit concerned. I'm not saying that the game's not going to come out or anything like that, or it's doom and gloom, but like I definitely thought that game was going to be sooner, and if it doesn't get announced by the end of the year at the Game Awards, I'm going to be worried, because we're looking at probably 2028 maybe when that game would come out.
So, if I can help your worries, I know that this game is in development. I think we all do. I think that's But I have talked to someone that has told me that very shocked if it's not coming out next year, like end of next year.
I hope.
And that if it's not announced this year, Star Wars Celebration in April of next year.
That would make sense.
For
LA.
Sure. Because the event is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the original film. So I think there's a chance that we're going to get a lot of announcements, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's there. But I know a couple more details about the game, but I will leave that for now until it's announced.
You got to text me.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see if they turn out true. But the guy I've talked to, he's pretty knowledgeable in Star Wars stuff. Like, a lot of stuff he told me about Mando and Grogu came out to be true. So, you know.
I do have one more disappointment now that I thought about it.
What is it?
Rise of Hydra, dude. Like, what is going on with this game?
Dude, it's not real. It's not a real game. It's not a real game.
It literally isn't. Like, we've been bamboozled. I don't know what is happening with Rise of Hydra, because... Yeah. Okay, so...
It's not real.
Here's the weirdest
thing.
There's
no way that game is real.
No, dude. The weirdest thing, it was like hours, if not maybe the next day, there was a interview done by one of the outlets. That it might have been Amy Hennig or someone over at Skydance. Is it Skydance? Yes. Skydance. Said that the game is being made and there's a playable version on a hard drive somewhere. What are we doing? How was that not shown off? Like, if there's a playable version of the game,
You can't make a demo, like at least just like a 10
dude,
minute new trailer.
anything at
Isn't
this
it supposed to be
point.
4-player co-op
No, I don't think
or
so.
something like that?
I
think
don't
it's,
think
no,
so.
I think it is.
Oh, if that's
I'm
the
gonna
case,
look at-
I'm out. I'm out. Like, I'm
4-player.
done.
What is it? What is it? Rise of Hydra. I swear it's 4-player.
No, because that
Let me
means
see.
I'm gonna get
Yes,
stuck with one
yes.
of the soldier
Well,
guys that I have to use
You
when
will
playing
take
with my
control
friends.
Okay, I don't know if it's 4-player co-op, but you can take control of the
playable
4
characters.
ensemble. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm trying to see. I swore I read this somewhere that it was co-op.
you're trying to ruin my day.
I am trying to ruin it because
No,
this
but-
game is not real. It's not
yeah.
real. It's a fake game.
Okay, so one of the things that they said was that they
All
are
right, fine, it's
operating
not
with a very small studio that is working on this, a very small group of people. My thing is, why have this project is ambitious. I mean, the demo showcase or whatever that they had years ago, showing off honestly some of the best looking graphics that I've ever seen for a superhero game.
Dude, they looked so real.
Dude, I remember when that came out, I was like, holy crap. I'm like, if this has good gameplay and these graphics, this is going to be an all-timer. I was like, this looks incredible. With such a small studio, it's so confusing to me to take on such an ambitious project. Yeah. And basically, they're like, they just don't have the staff to make this
They're also making a Star Wars game. I don't know if you saw that.
I did see that.
So, I've never believed this game was real.
Yeah.
Especially when it went silent, where it's like, it's releasing in 2025.
Yeah.
It's like,
my hope is fading, dude.
Yeah,
how did we get to 2025 to absolutely no updates?
Yeah.
And maybe not coming out until 27, maybe 28.
Yeah, this game is weird. There's so many weird things around it. I do not believe they have a playable demo of this game, if I'm being completely honest with you. I just don't. Maybe it's playable, but it doesn't work. Playable works like two different things for me. I'm really excited for the game because I think it has a really interesting idea, but I just don't believe it. Same thing with the Iron Man game. Where's that? It's at
That's
EA.
another one.
It's
Yeah.
I know they canceled a Black Panther game, which seems kind of stupid to me.
Yeah.
I think that would probably fit better than an Iron Man game, but prove me wrong. I don't know. I don't know where this is. You think Rise of Hydra would be like an immediate, like, let's get this going type thing, but that's kind of also the other thing as we jump into Xbox. Where was Blade? Where was the
That's
Blade?
another one.
And
I'm
obviously,
worried about that one.
I want to address it right now. Obviously, as we're filming this yesterday, it came out that there are a lot of studios being shut down, like Ninja Theory, which actually announced a game at this thing. So
dude,
I'm
getting
assuming
stressed out talking about this.
Yeah, Double Fine is probably going under, which is really depressing because of Brutal Legends and things like that. I hope someone buys these studios. I hope someone, saves them. I'm not shook that this is happening, but it's crazy after all the highs that now this is happening for a lot of these smaller studios. And
I knew that.
I think a lot of this goes
dude.
as far to show that, guys, it's because of Game Pass. They can't make their money back because people aren't buying the games.
Yeah.
I think Game Pass is the reason, I think it's a great deal. But
it's great. It's a great consumer product.
Streaming does not work. These services do not work long term on games because games are so expensive. Movies and TV shows, I mean, even most of these places aren't even making a profit back. So, I can't even say it's profitable there yet. But they're all lumped into one. Like Netflix Studios is all lumped into one. So it's like, do you guys just got to lump in these studios all together and then dedicated teams? I don't know. My heart goes out to anyone that loses their job through this, and I think it's really depressing and sad. And the same thing goes for when PlayStation does layoffs. It's absolutely ridiculous. And maybe it's because Gears of War EA has a $400 million budget, which is also ridiculous.
Dude, that's like how much they spent on the freaking Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah, which I'm gonna start with I'm gonna start with
go.
So I watched this and I was blown away. I think the conversation, I think Asha does an amazing job speaking.
I do too.
She really is for the fans. And I think she's had the unbearable task of getting people excited for Xbox again. Yeah. And their thing got me so excited that I turned my Series X on, and I had not turned it on since Avowed had come out for the Xbox.
That's crazy.
And I got it early. So that means I had played it like a month early, stopped playing, and never turned my Xbox back on again.
Yeah.
I turned my Xbox back on, and I re-downloaded every Gears of War game. I opened up all my physical media discs, and started re-downloading games because I was excited again to own an Xbox. And Gears of War E-Day looks like the revolutionary next-gen version of Gears of War that I wanted. Obviously, this is the first next-gen version of Gears of War officially, and it looks incredible. I bought the collector's edition. I will be buying it. I will be playing it first day. I am out of my mind excited for this game. It looks like everything. And also Fable. Fable looks great. I love seeing a new Spyro game. Clockwork looks cool. Everything else I was kind of like iffy on. But either way, I think they did a great job, and I love that they gave also everyone in attendance, all the fans, the 25th anniversary console.
That thing looks sick. I want one so bad.
And they just announced like console exclusive. They kept talking about what we need. I'll let you be the pessimist, man, because as exciting as it can be, now I'm also looking at the true things of this, and is this actually going to happen? Is this not?
Yeah, we're cooked.
You know?
Like I was so excited. I felt good because, like, even though I'm a PlayStation fanboy, I want Xbox to succeed desperately, because that is like I said, I'm a very nostalgic person. That is a core part of my childhood, and to see that erased just bums me out. And so I really am rooting hard for Asha Sharma, because I do think that she is trying really hard. Like I genuinely believe it. But they also made some critical mistakes, I think, here. First off, being basically revoking the idea that Gears of War was going to be on the PlayStation as well. I think that's a huge mistake. Your $400 million game, I'm telling you right now, nobody is rushing out to buy an Xbox for Gears of War. I'm sorry, I don't think it's happening.
Other than me. Than me. If I didn't own an Xbox, I would have been the only one. But it's too expensive to go buy an Xbox. It's too
expensive. Half of these people sold their Xboxes because there weren't any exclusives or any games to play. No reason to own. And now they have to pay more money than what they got for selling their Xbox to get it back. So, with also, like, there's so much uneasy. There's no security with being an Xbox owner right now, or investing in the Xbox brand. There's no security.
Because they get people hyped all the time, and then
it happens. They always have great showcases.
Also, these games have to be great. Just saying, like Gears of War E-Day needs to be amazing. Fable needs to be amazing.
And I think that they will.
Needs to be amazing.
The Clockwork game looks incredible. Like the thing is, I don't think that they've earned that right yet to make those games exclusive. Yes, they haven't got there yet. They should be working to try to bring in, which I think Halo may be a test, bring in some of these PlayStation players into their ecosystem and really like earn that from these players. And dude, this is not me being pissed off that Gears of War isn't going to be on PlayStation, because I don't care. Like I'm not a Gears of War person at all. Like I'm stoked for like people that are looking forward to that, but this is not me being butthurt about it. So this is just my little mini rant. I think it was a horrible decision to make that an exclusive, and it seems like they're really doubling down on exclusives now, and I just don't think that they have earned that. And like there's a lot of rumors about what the Project Helix is going to be, and the fact that it's going to probably be over $1,000. I don't know. I'm really nervous about Xbox hardware in general.
Yeah, and that's where I kind of got to be honest with you. So like, $400 million budget is ridiculous. Now, obviously, Concord was $400 million, and the argument would be made, well, that game failed in 2 days. And it's like, yeah, you're not wrong on that either.
Concord's way bigger blunder.
Yeah, I'm going to give a little bit of... So I believe that the $400 million budget, and I really would love to see like someone more detail it, because I've only seen the number. I haven't seen people detail it. So is that marketing? Is that production? Like, what is that? But also, I think there's a couple things that factor into this. Is one, that's probably when they were also developing a PlayStation 5 version, which has been said it was made. That the PS5 version was made. It's sitting on a hard drive somewhere. Second, this game has been in development for like 7 years years.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not shook at how long, because they basically had to rebuild all of Gears of War. They've been using the same assets, the same gameplay since probably 3 at this point, just overhauling some of the graphics and stuff. This is the first redefined version of the game. I think people also need to understand, like, Call of Duty does the same shit every year.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
That game's multi-platform. I fully believe that Gears of War's not going to make its money back. But that's just the truth. It's not going to. But it is going to have microtransactions, and I would really be curious to see how much Gears of War 5 had made in microtransactions, because I think that might reasonably showcase why the budget is so much. Because maybe Gears of War 5 had brought in, maybe it had like a $200 million budget, and it brought in billions of dollars from microtransactions.
It could have, yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the numbers. All I know is that everything's getting super expensive. You mentioned Helix. That's supposed to be able to run Steam, apparently, GOG, and all these different PC. Is it still going to be open? Because that's a massive thing. Yeah. Is it going to be open, but also have exclusives to it? Like, this is where I'm interested. I'm also interested in, like, the Steam machine. Like, is the Steam machine going to have exclusives that only play on that Steam machine?
Yeah.
All these things are getting expensive. But how do you get people to play a console? You have to have that avenue, something that grabs someone. And as of right now, I want the Steam machine, but there's no price announced for it. I want this Project Helix, because if it's open, like, I would love to be able to put that in my living room and be able to play PC games on the TV with my wife.
Yeah.
But you got to showcase to me that. So, man, your rant is completely valid in everything that you're saying.
I'm just worried.
Yeah, and I'm worried for developers.
I'm worried for Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah. Like...
And then I think the thing that, like, put it over the edge for me was just, like, the rumors of Arcane shutting down, because I'm just like, dude, what?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to be honest, that's when I was like, and then also the Senua thing, like, that kind of pissed me off. That's ridiculous. They just announced a game, and now it's rumored to be shut down after you just announced it, is the most bizarre move, and it makes me question what the plan is for Xbox, because it seems it's a very fluid plan that is ever evolving day by day, and I don't know how much of that is, like, influenced by the feedback that they're getting, and if they're being super reactionary to every bit of feedback that they get. No, you're frozen.
We're back, because apparently Keenan broke the stream.
I don't know what I did.
Yeah, I mean, you were ranting and Microsoft heard it, and they're like, turn his stuff off.
Yeah,
turn it off.
It's just spitting too much fire out here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Nah, I mean, for me, Xbox said a lot of the right stuff, I think, again, as we've just kind of like detailed. But I need to see it in action. I need to see these games great. I need to see people buying an Xbox again. And I'll also say this. Xbox, you want to showcase something? Lower your prices on your consoles. Lose money. You've already lost a lot of money. Let's be honest. If you look at Microsoft as a whole, it's $1 billion company. It's $1 trillion company.
Yeah.
So, like, lose the money. Get people back on board. Feel free to raise the price, like, when Helix comes out. Because let's be honest, Helix is coming out next year. So, whatever price that may be. But let's do it. Let's do it right now. Show me as a fan that you mean this. Because I'm going to tell you, if they lowered their price, I think people would go and buy one right now.
I think that they need to throw a Hail Mary at this point.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I do believe that before Asha Shamra came in, I do believe that there was a chance that they were just going to go full on being a developer, or just worrying about making games. A publisher is the word I'm looking for. Going publisher, and I do think that, like, hiring her was kind of a little bit of their Hail Mary, where they're just like, listen, there's this outside voice who's just very different and is going to come in here with an outsider's perspective and just look at things for what they are without any emotional attachment and make the correct decisions. I do feel like this is their Hail Mary. So, like, if they're leaning towards possibly becoming a publisher in the future, which I don't know how much that is true because they have Helix that they're working on, but, like, if that's a possibility, throw that Hail Mary, dude. And just, like, cut your prices by $200, whatever it is, and then just bet and hope that these people buy your games. Hope that they're excited and you make that money back in some game sales. So I like your idea.
Go away? Let me ask you that. Does Game Pass ever
I don't think so. I think there needs to be some sort of restructuring to, like,
I think they're going to restructure it to make it super cheap, but I think they're going to make day one games not
Yeah.
be available on
The value is
unless you
not
pay
going to be the same.
some absurd price
Yeah.
for them. And I think that'll be just the way they do it. It's like, okay, you want Gears of War E-Day first day, and you don't have to wait 6 months to play it, which some people will wait 6 months, but like I wouldn't if I had Game Pass. I think if they got Game Pass down to $5 or $10, and there was a wide variety of games on there, I'd probably resubscribe, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
Because then I would play it, and I would enjoy it, and then buy the games that I really need immediately. So
Does Game Pass really appeal to the hardcore gamer? Like, someone like us, we like to have our games. I have trust issues when it comes to like the things that I collect. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know if it can be stripped or taken away from me at any point in time, or if I decide maybe I don't want an Xbox anymore, and I want to hop over to PlayStation. I don't have games that I can trade in or sell or anything like that. Yeah. They belong to Xbox now.
Yeah. So this is the consumer that I think Game Pass is most important to. Now I think it works for the hardcore gamer. I have a friend who's not married, has a girlfriend, pretty long term, been in it for a while, doesn't have any kids, just works, plays video games. Like that's what he does, and goes to school. He has Game Pass and he uses it religiously. But that works for him because he has the time and schedule for that. He doesn't have a PS5. Sure. He doesn't have a Nintendo. All he has is his PC and his Xbox. Well, I guess basically just his PC. I think he sold his Xbox, but he just uses Game Pass through there. So his thing, yeah, it works. Like I get why. The person it's used for the most is my cousin with 3 kids who only has an Xbox, and he can't afford every game, but he can afford Game Pass once a month, and they can download a ton of different games. That's the consumer that it's going towards, not the person that would buy your game first day. So
yeah, that's true.
I think you're on the right par for that. But yeah, I think it just kind of depends. It's the same thing with PlayStation. I don't have the massive PlayStation one. I just have the $80 one, and I probably don't even need that because I barely play online games. So it's like so hit or miss on that. But yeah, man, I think we've really talked it in the head. And I know this is, again, more of a PlayStation podcast, but I think this was so extreme that we definitely had to talk about these other studios. Yeah. And in general, what's kind of changing here for the community. So we'll jump into Nintendo real quick because I think maybe we should have started with Nintendo before Xbox. Was there anything exciting that Nintendo dropped that you were like, oh, that looks cool? I'd play that.
Yeah, I mean, like I have the OG Switch and that's it, and I don't really get any playtime out of that at all. Yeah. So I'm not like the Nintendo guy. I know you pay way more attention to Nintendo than I do. So if there's something that hyped you up, man, let's hear it.
It's funny. It's not even an exclusive. It was Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh. I did see you lose your mind about that.
Yeah, I flipped my shit out for Kingdom Hearts 4. Ocarina of Time's cool. I'm excited. I want to see gameplay for that. And I love Nintendo for what they do. I don't play my Switch a lot, but I do buy a lot of games and I keep them sealed personally just because I see how much value they go up in. But when I do want to play them, I do unseal them and I do play them a little bit. And my Switch is built out. I have so many games on there. But I usually pick like one a month that I'll really dive into. So like Donkey Kong's been the one I've been playing the most on. So it's like, but that's when I have time.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on the time and the sway, but I love being able to have a handheld. So we will leave it there. Let's jump into the community questions. And guys, please make sure if you're new here to like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what was your favorite thing that was announced at all these different events. Which one do you think really won the week? I think in terms of excitement, Xbox won. But I think in terms of consistency, I would still say Nintendo or PlayStation are probably the more consistent ones in terms of delivering for their fans. And PlayStation, if you're listening, get me that chart. Show me what's coming. I don't need to know what it is. Just show me. Just show me what it is. And pivot if you have to. I think it'd be very exciting. I think it'd be very, very exciting. So,
no doubt.
I'll leave it to you, man. What are the community questions?
All right, let's get to it. So, first one. This one's really going to be geared towards you. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. What is your favorite PlayStation game from each generation? Just rapid fire them.
All right. So some of this might be off the top of my head. So PlayStation 1, probably Spyro the Dragon. I religiously played that game. It was either that or Crash Bandicoot, but I really loved the PlayStation 1 on that game. Spider-Man's a good one on there too, but I'll leave it at Spyro. 2, I think my PlayStation 2, it would either probably be Kingdom Hearts 2, GTA San Andreas, or a game called Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Never
It's
heard
a
of it.
real dude. It's a really fun arcadey RPG that I play with my dad a ton. I own like 3 different versions of this game: GameCube, 2 PS2 versions. Like I love this game. It's cheesy, it's fun, and every other Gauntlet game sucks after that. I'm sure that Gauntlet fan base, if they ever see this, they will hate me for saying that. But Gauntlet Dark Legacy is a masterpiece. I love that game. PS3 Resistance, probably the first one, but I do have a soft spot for 2 and 3.
Yeah.
That's just that game really changed like the trajectory of like PlayStation for me. The PS3, I should probably say The Last of Us, but I don't have 2 Last of Us's on here, so I won't. That's why we're going to jump over to the PS4, and that would be Last of Us Part 2.
Good one.
It's my favorite. Last of Us and Last of Us Part 2 are my favorite games of all time. Like those two interconnected. If I play one, I got to play 2. I can't play 2 without playing 1 first.
Yeah.
And then the PS5, which is where we're at right now, I think we're only doing exclusives, right? Or I guess why?
Well, no, just do whatever.
I guess
that's how I would have to do it.
I would say Final Fantasy, because it's not technically an exclusive anymore. But yeah, the Part 2 Final Fantasy VII I thought was absolutely incredible. I love that game. But God of War Ragnarok creeps up there.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
I mean, that game's absolutely amazing. Spider-Man 2, Cyberpunk, the PS5 version, Elden Ring. I mean, that when it gets to this console generation, it's really tough because there's so many different ones that are kind of PS4, PS5. Kind of is. And there's a lot of fun ones that are like relevantly like. But if I had to really think of one, I take it all back. Death Stranding 2.
Oh, okay.
It's the most emotionally riveted I've been playing a game this generation.
Because of your dad?
Yeah, and some of the stuff towards the end, like, and I hate that I was spoiled about stuff towards the end because I Googled something for a guide, and
Stupid
in
internet.
Google, you know how it gives you the AI overview?
Oh my god,
First
dude.
sentence.
The worst thing to happen to Google, by the way.
Dude, the first sentence, spoiler. Massive spoiler. It's like, in chapter 15, I'm like, I'm asking about chapter 5. Where did you get chapter 15?
No.
Like, yeah, so, what about you?
Okay, so, rapid fire. I did not own a PS2 or 3, but I'll just pretend that I played these games on those consoles. So, PS1, I do remember playing Crash Bandicoot 2 heavily. Watching my dad play that absolutely would be my favorite one. PS2 generation, I may have actually played this on the original Xbox, can't remember, but there's this game called Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. Massive Lord of the Rings fan. That is literally a game that nobody really knows about, but I love it. Turn-based game. Yeah. Awesome. PS3, if I were to have a PS3 back then, it would probably be The Last of Us Part 1. PS4, Spider-Man PS4 easily. PS5, Spider-Man 2. Did I get them all? Yeah. So, and we'll see what Wolverine does for us in a couple months, but yeah, we'll see.
I hope I'm emotionally riveted by Wolverine. I really hope I'm emotionally riveted by that game.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Like, Spider-Man really gets
I feel like you're just getting me like filled with dopamine and like clawing through guys. Yeah, for real. Okay, so next question. This will be the last one. Actually, I lost it. Okay. Of course, it's a Marvel question because that's what everyone usually asks. If you could pitch a Marvel game for Insomniac, which character or group would you choose? This is the most no-brainer answer for me.
Oh, give yours. Okay,
it's Daredevil. Like, Daredevil, you already have the New York City playground to mess around with. I think you just enhance Hell's Kitchen a little bit more. And but like the traversal, Insomniac would absolutely nail. It'd be so cool because they've already built and established that world. So Daredevil is my number one that I would want.
Then you can have Punisher in there, Luke Cage, Iron Man.
Oh my god,
dude. Defenders, yeah. Okay, to be different than you, and I'm not going to say Punisher or any of those. I know we've already gotten a game with this group, and it's such an underrated game if no one's ever played it. Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I would love to see Insomniac do a sci-fi Guardians of the Galaxy team. I would love it. I think they would nail the aesthetic perfectly. Yeah. And I would actually wish that they would just take those versions that failed budget-wise and continue it, because that game is Keenan, I
So
don't know if you know
underrated,
this
dude.
about me. That is actually my favorite comic book game of all time. Is Guardians of the
Really?
Galaxy.
Are you serious?
Yep. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
played it on the PS5?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
I love that. I love the combat. It reminded me of Kingdom Hearts. So like it was kind
Yeah.
of just like the perfect balance of everything. And don't get me wrong. Like I think if I went back and replayed like Spider-Man 2 or something like that, I'd probably say like Spider-Man.
No, dude.
Like,
This has a lot of heart and
it's
just
so
like
good.
yeah.
Dude, I played it in like 2-3 days, and I was so
Oh,
sad
yeah.
when I beat it because I was
Nah.
so obsessed with it.
Oh my god, the feelings
yeah.
that it made me feel, especially with the soundtrack. I think I did a video essay on this game actually.
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and plug
absolutely
it.
love it.
Ghost of Yotai video essay coming. I think Monday is when I'm going to put it up after this.
Monday.
So look it up.
Yeah, very
Anything else you got
controversial
coming up,
take.
man? Yeah. Anything else you got coming up?
Yeah, just Yote right now that I cannot wait for people to listen to and just roast me in the comments for, and crazy Wolverine stuff happening always on the personal channel. So those we need to find a way to link my Wolverine stuff to this channel. We'll figure that out in the future. But
We'll figure it out. But yeah, no. So we got that. For me, you'll have a Toy Story 3 video essay if you haven't watched it yet.
yeah,
It should already be up. If not, I'll probably put it up after the Ghost of Yotai one. And then I will also be reviewing James Bond First
Yes.
Light. I'll tease that a little bit. I loved it. I went on a huge ramble for it. But yeah, so lots of content coming up over on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep playing video games, especially if they're on PlayStation, because we know that we will still have a console by the end of this decade. I don't know about Xbox, though. So thank you guys so much. And, of course, have a great day.